Ready to go here at the Network Associates Coliseum. Cowboys will kick off as you look at Billy Cundiff, third-year player out of Drake. And back deep on your left is Chris Cole, and on your right is Doug Gabriel. Preseason game number 2 here from Oakland. And we are underway. And Cole will take a knee, and we'll look at the silver and black from the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. The Raider offense last week playing exceptionally well. And that man right there, Rich Gannon, the quarterback, 9 of 15 for 69 yards. And the rest of the offensive unit, the starters, and good to see Ron Stone at right guard back on the practice field this week, and he gets to start at right guard on a 1st and 10 from the 20. And it's Wheatley. And Wheatley a gain for about 3. Rich Gannon, the skilled positions as we look at the backs and the receivers. Wheatley, the ball carrier there. Zach Crockett, the fullback. The tight end is Doug Jolly. Jerry Rice, Jerry Porter, the wide receivers.
And you know, coming out of last week's game, the Raiders were basically healthy. Robert Gallery got dinged during practice this week and will not play. But as far as the rest of the group, it's intact.
3 receivers to the top of the screen. And now Redmond goes in motion. Gannon with the pressure on. And Gannon will run for the first down, and he has it across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Well, the Dallas Cowboys, the ranked defense last year, and that is the strong part of their ball club. They pick up Marcellus Wiley from San Diego along with Carson, the Pro Bowler Roy Glover, and Greg Ellis. Good set of linebackers. Win in the middle with Singleton and Coakley on the sides. And Terrence Newman, the corner with Pete Hunter, Darren Woodson, and Roy Williams, the all-pro starter from last year, at free safety.
You know, I think for the Raiders, this should be a very good test in the running game. With Dallas, one of the top teams against the rush last year, allowed only 4 teams to run over 100 yards against them, and Philly did it twice.
And a miscommunication there, and they have got Wheatley backed up. Leroy Glover out of San Diego State got through, and a big loss on the play for the silver and black.
That's what you call meeting the ball carrier in the backfield. A little swim move by Leroy Glover right over the top. A little bit of a mix-up inside as you see number 67, Ron Stone, pull around, and Adam True, the center, doesn't pick him up. I'm sure the coaches, though, Jim, will get that squared away.
Oh, I'm sure. Like I said, this is a good test for that Raider rushing game.
Excellent test.
A loss of 6 on the play as Jerry Porter goes wide to the left. Jerry Rice, short side right. And Gannon sets up the screen. Wheatley. And Wheatley tackled at the 30, brought down by Al Singleton. Singleton 2 years ago, a member of the Super Bowl Tampa Bay Bucks, and he's there to stop Wheatley over the 30-yard line. And a gain of about 6 on the play, gentlemen.
You know, it was a 2-deep zone that time. They threw the ball to Wheatley. Singleton, one of the faster linebackers in the league, along with Dat Wynn and Dexter Coakley, came up, rallied, and made the play. The one thing, though, about the Raiders, that Norv Turner and this offense, they will dish the ball off to all receivers. Last week, 16 different guys caught the pass.
3rd and 11. Ronald Curry is in as the 3rd wide receiver on 3rd and long. First quarter action, the first drive of the football game. Here come the Cowboys, and Gannon able to throw it away, incomplete. And we will look at the Raiders punting unit. There is a flag now, though. A penalty marker is down at about the 42-yard line.
Brady James, a backup linebacker, came straight up the field and got a piece of Rich Gannon as he was throwing the ball.
Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And Ed Hockley making the call. We saw a lot of that last week, and they are really cracking down. Not only here, I mean, all over the National Football League in the preseason, they are calling that to the letter.
Trying to get these defensive backs ready for what they're going to do during the regular season. I think oftentimes over the last several years that nobody really adhered to that 5-yard rule. And there's Bill Parcells, you know, a great coach. He's taken 4 different teams to the playoffs. The only coach ever to do that.
Look at that. It'll be 63 tomorrow as Parcells and the Cowboys blanked last week in the preseason opener at Houston, 18-0. So the Raiders take advantage of the penalty, and they have the football at their own 35. Near side, timing for Rice, and it's knocked out of bounds. Good pass coverage there by Terrence Newman. He's in his second year out of Kansas State. He was their top draft pick a year ago.
And a great player from Kansas State. And one of the challenges tonight for the Raider offense is going to be seeing a 4-3 cover 2 defense most of the evening. That's what Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator, employs. Bill Parcells was more of an odd defensive front guy at the Giants, but the personnel of the Cowboys dictates a 4-3. Again, great work for the Raider offense.
So 2nd and 10 for the Silver and Black as they work from their own 35-yard line. And Gannon looking up top, and he has Jerry Rice for the first down. Timing pattern and a perfectly thrown football by Rich Gannon. 23-yard play.
And Rich had trouble finding the guy open at first, but Jerry Rice took it up the field. I think it was a little bit different route, but once he saw Gannon getting a little bit of trouble, he took it up the field. A fine throw and catch by Jerry Rice and Rich Gannon.
And a pump fake that time by Rich as he walked off the safety a little bit. You see Jamil Powell get beat by the veteran Jerry Rice. Powell, a second-year man out of Cal. This guy, Jerry Rice, age 41, his 20th year in the National Football League.
And you look at Jerry Rice, 13 NFL records. Curry at the top of the screen. So Gannon on a first down. Underneath Wheatley. And he's hit immediately at the 40-yard line. And that's gain of 2 on the play.
Excuse me, Grant. But that's one thing about Rich Gannon. You know, he was in trouble. He knows where his receivers are. He was able to dump it off before he took the sack. Very smart play, Rich Gannon.
Plunk, let's talk about the offense now operating from the dirt section of the field. Any problems for Rich Gannon?
I don't think so. I think, you know, he keeps his feet under him. He's got very good balance, so it's not going to be a problem for him. Some of the big linemen who have to push off, get into their blocks, they may slip and slide a little bit, not be able to pick defensive linemen off the line of scrimmage.
Doug Gabriel is in for the first time. And it's Wheatley. Big hole for Wheatley. And Tyrone Wheatley has a Raiders first down. He's inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Roy Williams on the tackle.
One of the problems you have if you run a 4-3 cover 2 is 7-man front. Now watch what happens here. Wheatley cuts up back inside. A great block that time by Barry Sims, number 65. It's a 7-man front. The Raiders had more blockers there than the Cowboys defenders.
And not only that, I thought Zach Crockett did a great job picking up the linebacker inside and allowing Tyrone Wheatley to pick up that yardage.
Now Crockett in motion to the left. And again, it's Wheatley, but flags come flying. And this penalty will be against the Raiders, 5 yards. They'll be backed up. Drive of the football game.
And another impressive drive. And I think we're seeing all aspects of the Norv Turner offense early in the game again.
And Wheatley behind Crockett. And Tyrone Wheatley, another big hole as he races forward to the 20-yard line. Dat Wynn, the veteran out of Texas A&M, makes the stop for the Cowboys. 12-yard gain for Tyrone Wheatley.
You know, I think I'd be impressed with Tyrone Wheatley. A lot of people thought he was slowing down a little bit, getting old. The 10th year in the league from Michigan, yet he was the leading rusher for the Raiders a year ago with 159 carries, and there he goes. Great blocking once again, allowing Wheatley to pick up that yardage, and he averaged 4.3 yards a carry last year, and he looks very strong again this year.
10th play of the drive, Wheatley carried, so now they're into double figures, and that's exactly what Norv Turner wants to see on these opening drives. They fake this time to Wheatley, and underneath it's Porter. Porter breaks one tackle, and he's wrestled down at the 16-yard line.
Again, this is excellent play calling. Smash mouth, smash mouth, smash mouth. You come back with a little bootleg, a little wide receiver delay. I think Norv Turner does as good a job in an opening series as anybody. Watch the mobility here of Rich Gannon. A bootleg, throws the ball on the run. Porter takes a step inside, comes back outside, short pass. Hopefully he can run after catch. I like the flexibility of this offense.
And again, Zach Crockett moving in motion in front of Wheatley. And not much that time for Tyrone Wheatley on a 1st and 10. Again, Dat Wynn. Last year, 140 tackles for the Cowboys, and he makes the stop there.
Yeah, he was their lead tackler a year ago. That 4-down lineman set, you know, takes up a lot of blockers up there, allowing Dat Wynn to come in and make tackles just like he did there.
Gannon looking good on this drive, 4 of 5 for 37 yards as Wheatley gets a breather, and Norv Turner with a smile, obviously He likes the fact that Wheatley once again is running them very well, and give credit to that offensive line. Get Ronald Curry in here on a 2nd down and 8. Jolly in motion. Gannon steps up, and it's incomplete. That pass intended for Ronald Curry.
You know who's loving this is the coaching staff of the defense. Rob Ryan, the defense coordinator, loves it when the offense is on the field because that means his defense is on the field. You know, you take a look and you talk about the new coaching staff. Jimmy Ray, experienced NFL vet. Joe Avizano, the special teams coach. Sam Clancy, ex-grade player. Pat Jones, ex-head coach at Oklahoma State. This is an excellent staff that the Raider organization and Norv Turner have put together.
Fifth-year running back J.R. Redmond from Arizona State is in on a 3rd down and 8. Here comes the pressure. Gannon runs away from it. Underneath Redmond. And Redmond dives forward, and he has the Raiders' first down. Nice second effort there by Redmond to get the first down.
You know, once again, they knew the pass rush was coming. He was able to dump it off to J.R. Redmond behind a couple of blockers on a short screen, and there he is out there. They dump it off. These are a lot of techniques that the Raiders have not used in the past. The screens, especially down around near the goal line, very difficult.
Well, they're going to measure it. I thought he had the first down, but they spot the ball down at about the 6-yard line.
You know, guys, J.R. Redmond has put on 15 pounds this year. He's up to about 230 pounds. He's going to play some fullback in the opener.
All right, 14th play of the drive coming up. Hetherington is in front of Crockett. This is obviously Crockett's specialty. 4th and short. It's Crockett, and he has the first down. Zach Crockett only needed about the length of the football, gentlemen, and he was able to nudge the ball to the 5-yard line.
As we take a look at Bill Parcells, he doesn't like what he sees from his defense right now. They're getting pushed around. But look at the push here up front by the offensive line of the Silver and Black. Great get off, excellent lead blocking by 44 Hetherington, and Zach Crockett, the short yardage expert or specialist, gets it done for the Raider offense. Great job by the 10-year man out of Florida State.
1st and goal. And there is Zach Crockett, the veteran, who just carried the football in his 10th year out of Florida State. They work out of the eye. And the second man, Wheatley. And Wheatley is going to be stopped for a yard loss on the play. Delroy Stewart on the tackle.
A free agent. I mean, Rich Gannon was a free agent.
Roland Williams is in. Gannon looking. Gannon has some daylight. Wide open. And just underthrown and incomplete.
But a great job of Rich Gannon getting out of trouble. A lot of pressure. There's a very good Dallas defense has put pressure on Gannon almost the whole drive down the field, but he manages to find a way to get out of trouble. It's a great move on Rich Gannon's part. He goes to his right, then fakes around to his left. He's got Jerry Rice open in the back of the end zone, but either it's tipped or it's just slightly underthrown. And Jerry Rice cannot come up with it.
And Jerry Porter, excuse me, Grant, wanted the ball, as you saw number 84 clapping there in the end zone.
Redmond is in at the halfback. This is the 17th play of the drive with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the quarter. What a job by Gannon. And he overthrows Porter. Did well to get rid of the ball. I'll tell you, he's looked like Fran Tarkington in his prime out here.
Well, you know what? He better look like it, because the one thing this Cowboy defense has, they might be a little bit lightweight in terms of how much they weigh, but they're fast. They run around, and that's why they led the NFL in total defense a year ago.
Well, after 17 plays, the drive stalls at the 5-yard line, and now on a 4th and goal, we will look at a chip shot chance for Sebastian Janikowski. See last week, 4 of 5. The only kick he missed was from way out, 51 yards. And this to put the Raiders on the scoreboard first.
Kicks away, man.
And it's good. And the Silver and Black strike first. They lead it 3-0 here on the Oakland Raiders Television Network. What a drive by the Raiders, and just not able to go an additional 5 yards.
You know, as we all mention every week, you know, that's the toughest part of the field, inside the 20-yard line, getting across that goal line, and Dallas is very good, very strong at stopping inside the red zone.
You see the deep end for Dallas on the left. That is Terrence Cooper. And on the near side, Zuriel Smith. And it is Cooper. Big hole. Janikowski trying to run him out of bounds and does. Zuriel Smith from Hampton in his second year with a big run back for the Cowboys. And that will give them the ball 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Joe Arizano, the special teams coach, will not like that because the Raiders were last year in kickoff coverage.
There is the veteran quarterback, Vinny Testaverde. He's in his 18th year out of Miami.
Another ex-Jet on the Dallas Cowboys, joining ex-Jet coach Bill Parcells.
So good field position for Dallas. Cowboys shut out last week, and Testaverde is sacked. Vinny back at the 45-yard line. The Raiders defense, they break through. Tyler Brayton got there first, and he had help from Danny Clark.
You know, that's one of the things that they didn't do a week ago against the 49ers.
You know, you take a look at this, excuse me, Jim, as Testaverde goes back, Big Ted Washington's up inside, but you see number 91, Tyler Brayton, come off the corner clean, and then he's brought down by, like you said, Danny Clark. A little different alignment for the Raiders that time.
And that's one of the reasons why they drafted Tyler Brayton a year ago, put pressure on the passer.
2nd and 18. Jamar Martin at fullback. Eddie George is the tailback. In motion is Witten. And here's a little delay. And it is the fullback Martin. And Martin's inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. Let's look at the silver and black defensively. And you see Tyler Brayton with the big Ted Washington, the All-Pro Warren Sapp, 7 consecutive seasons. DeLawrence Grant and Travion Smith on the outside. Danny Clark, Dwayne Rudd inside backers. And the secondary, Buchanan, Walker at the corners with Derek Gibson and Ray Buchanan, the safeties. Richie Anderson, who played for Bill Parcells, is a member of the Jets in at fullback. Glenn and Bryant are the receivers. 3rd down, Testaverde, and we'll get a flag. That's interference on Philip Buchanan, and it will be a Cowboys 1st down.
And the Raiders were in their nickel package time with Buchanan, the nickel back on the inside receiver. Again, you talked about it, Jim and Grant, about the enforcement by the officials in the Chuck rule. They got quick flags again tonight.
And not only that.
So it is a 1st down for Dallas.
You know, we take a look at it again to the left of your screen. Testaverde lobs the ball up, and Buchanan gets tangled with the receiver. Keyshawn Johnson saying, hey, it was a flag.
There's Terry Glenn in motion. It's Eddie George off the left side, and George plows his way inside the 10 down to the 9. And it's going to be 2nd and short, a pickup of 9 on the play. On 2nd and short. And it's Eddie George, and he's close to the 1st down. And Ted Washington in on the stop. Well, we've talked so much about the youth of this football team. Robert Gallery not playing tonight because of the injury suffered in practice. Look at the rest of the draft class. Jake Grove at center, and we've talked so much about Carlos Francis. What a debut he had a week ago.
Big time. And Johnny Morant, the wide receiver out of Syracuse. You know, Sean Johnson's been injured. Cody Spencer plays a great deal. Tight end Courtney Anderson had a big week. Another excellent draft by the Oakland Raiders scouting department.
3rd and 1. And Eddie George stopped at the line of scrimmage by Ted Washington. And we'll wait to see where they spot that football.
Grant, this is going to be very, very close. I think his forward progress might have gotten the 1st down. You know, you take a couple looks at it here. The ball is handed off deep, but that is why Ted Washington is an Oakland Raider, to be a run stopper on inside runs. Watch the force of the big guy right there stopping the pile. He was brought in to stop the run, and he does an excellent job of doing it there.
Well, and again, you give credit to Al Davis, who did a tremendous job in scouting these guys to get these players in camp, like a Ted Washington, like a Wingstop. Time in this preseason. They spot the football at the 18. So it will be a 27-yard attempt. And it is good, and we are tied at 3 with minutes and 40 seconds left here in the opening quarter on the Oakland Raiders television network.
Which is 1/5 of the total Super Bowls. So this is great when these two wonderful organizations meet up on the field.
Bryant, the ball.
All the Super Bowls played, these two teams have won. These two organizations have won.
And Bryant. And this one will be turned by Gabriel at the 1. Gabriel breaks a tackle. Good run back across the 40 to the 42-yard line. And that's where the Raiders offense will start 1st and 10.
You know, that was obviously set up by people up front on that one, Grant.
A 42-yard return. Raiders football when we return. Second-year player out of USC, Justin Fargas behind Zach Crockett. Little play action for Gannon, who steps up, and he's hit as he throws the football incomplete. Intended for Fargas, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
You know, you can almost throw out all the thinking in prior years about preseason and only running certain basic plays on offense, a few passing plays. These guys are coming out, everything they've got in the playbook almost, they're putting out there on the field to test it, to let their players know that they're going to be an offensive-minded football team.
You know, Jim, I think that's true, too, because of the new coaching staff. You know, you don't have tapes to look at from last year in the offseason to correct and teach your system.
So 2nd down and 10 with 2.5 left in this, the opening quarter, with the game tied at 3. And Fargas with his first touch. And Fargas pushing forward to the 48-yard line.
You know, Justin Fargas, a third-round pick in the year 2003, out of USC, extremely fast, was injured part of last year, had some problems fumbling the ball, but worked diligently this offseason, and now is doing an excellent job of holding on to the ball. His dad was Huggy Bear, remember him?
That's right.
On Starsky and Hutch. So he's got some fame on his father's side, and he's looking to make a name for himself here with the Raiders.
And Fargas comes out, and J.R. Redmond is in. Both these players will, in all likelihood, get extended touches. Amos not playing tonight. Gannon on a 3rd and 4. Here come the Cowboys. Timing pattern. Gabriel out of bounds, incomplete. And it will be a 4th down for the Oakland Raiders. Boy, you know, you talk about this franchise. So great to see all the former players come back and, you know, work in the front office, work with the organization. We're talking about Hall of Famers, the continuity that they have here with the Raiders.
And, you know, you look around the Oakland Raiders, no one individual is bigger than the organization. The Raiders lost some people in the front office this past year. And I tell you, I think it's just a absolute compliment to the foundation on which this organization has built, the number of people that do things in the organization, but also, Grant and Jim, around the league. In fact, this week, a national publication honored the Raiders as the standard bearer of inexclusiveness and diversity in hiring. Something just sensational, the ultimate compliment.
I'm pretty sure Coach Turner and Rob Ryan is proud of the defense, especially after the kickoff got Dallas deep in their territory. The defense stepped up and held Dallas to 3 points. A lot this defense has to do, guys. This is a good offense for them to come through and show that they have improved over the 2nd week of the preseason. Back to you guys.
Thank you, George. After that 47-yard kick by Leclerc, no return. Testaverde working out of his end zone, and he is able to advance the ball to Terry Glenn. And Glenn knocked the bounce after he gets to the 12-yard line.
You know, little
lineman.
Pick up of 8 on the play. Now Testaverde with a little breathing room. Eddie George turning the corner. And Eddie George, a short pickup, and let's see, he made the first down. Derek Gibson on the tackle in his 4th year out of Florida State.
John Perella, injured most of last year.
All right, Martin, the fullback, George behind him, and it will be Eddie George, and he has the first down and more. Breaks the tackle, and Eddie George all the way out to the 36-yard line. A big gain for Eddie George, finally brought down by Danny Clark after he ran 14 yards.
You know, it's good.
Back here in Oakland, we are tied at 3. Grant Napier, Jim Plunkett, Artie Gigantino. Of course, George Atkinson and Steve Wisniewski on the sideline. And Steve's with us right now. Steve, what do you got for us?
Hey, thank you, guys. I'm staying with Ron Stone, a fantastic signing for the Oakland Raiders this year. Ron, you've been voted to 3 Pro Bowls. You've been on 3 Super Bowl teams. What's it feel like to wear the silver and black this year? And what did you see in this Raider team that made you want to come here as a free agent?
I mean, there's a lot of tradition here at the Raiders, you know, silver and black. You know, it was an opportunity for me to stay in the Bay Area, and, you know, it was an opportunity for me to, you know, go back to a coach I used to play for and come here and help out the best I can.
How did it feel to be a part of an 18-play drive to start the preseason game today?
I didn't get all 18 of it. I just got, I think, 12 because, you know, I'm nursing my leg still. But it felt good. I felt a little rusty, but I was glad to be in there with the guys.
Welcome to Oakland. It's great to have you here, Ron. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Steve. And it is Anderson, and Anderson, the ball carry across the 40 to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. Danny Clark, who was picked up by Jacksonville, another one of those tremendous pickups. Here's a guy that played 4 years in Jacksonville. He finds himself with the silver and black, and he is starting at linebacker.
And along with Travian Smith, number 56, I think this young linebacker core, young in terms of experience and starting in the NFL, will be excellent this year. Travian plays on the outside. Danny Clark, who you just talked about, plays on the inside.
Cowboys on a 3rd down and 2. And Testaverde able to get the first down to Bryant across midfield, and he's into Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Denard Walker on the stop. Boy, you know, one thing about the silver and black, the legacy, and it starts, you know, you look at all these Hall of Fame players, Jim Otto, and you go down the list to all those legends. And of course, the owner Al Davis, inducted in 1992. And boy, you turn the page and you look at just, they keep on coming with Mike Haynes, of course, Dickerson, Howie Long, Lott, Jasper Allen, James Lofton, Bob Brown inducted this year. Of course, there should be at least 2 more names.
Yeah,
on
I mean, the guy standing next to us, Jim Plunkett, Tom Flores, the ex-coach, and Cliff Branch, the great wide receiver. I think it's ridiculous that you guys, Jim, we talk about this a lot, are not in the National Football League Hall of Fame. And then you throw in Ray Guy. There ought to be about 4 guys from the Raiders added to that list.
And here's a great play by Travian Smith, the guy you just spoke about a minute ago. He beats the block, gets depth into the backfield, helps with a tackle with Derek Gibson.
And you know, Derek Gibson, number 36, the best thing, not the best thing, one of the things he does very well, like a Travian Smith, he can play the run very good. This first-round draft choice, 36, Gibson, out of Florida State a couple of years ago, is an excellent run defender.
Keyshawn Johnson in on this play, but they keep it on the ground to Anderson. And Anderson, the veteran running back out of Penn State, reunited last year with Parcells after playing with him for 3 seasons in New York with the
by Travian Smith. He's got to keep an eye on tonight.
3rd and 8 for the Cowboys. We're in the 2nd quarter, tied at 3. Keyshawn Johnson in motion. And Bryant, diving catch. And they talk about it on the far sideline, and they say he caught it. He got both feet down. Antonio Bryant, the 3rd-year receiver from Pittsburgh, makes the nice grab to keep the drive alive. Tom Flores, and boy, another man that should probably, in all honesty, be in the Hall.
And you talk about Raiders everywhere, and Raiders working in the organization, outside the organization. Jim Plunkett's here in the TV booth. Tom Flores does the radio, longtime assistant coach and head coach of the Oakland Raiders.
He was a wonderful coach, did a lot of great things, and prepared us for each and every game.
Julius Jones now in at the halfback. And here comes the pressure from Brayton. And Testaverde flagged down, incomplete. And this is one of these contact penalties, I think, guys, where it's past 5 yards. And Derek Gibson runs back. And we're seeing a lot of that.
We're seeing a lot of it. And again, the rule is defined. You cannot impede a receiver after the 5-yard area.
Before the ball was thrown, illegal contact defense, number 25, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He's calling it on Denard Walker on the other side. It appeared to me he was calling it on Derek Gibson. But irregardless, it doesn't have to be at the point of attack. It can be away from the play.
Look at Drew Henson in the 2nd half for the Cowboys. He's trying to make the switch from baseball to football. And they stay on the ground. And it is Julius Jones with the carry. Jones a week ago ran for 57 yards in the loss in Houston. Akbar Abaja-Biamiliu had a couple of sacks last week in on the tackle.
He's making the adjustment from defensive end to, quote, rush backer very well. He's an excellent pass rusher, a lot of speed, a second-year guy out of Los Angeles or out of San Diego State, LA High School, Crenshaw High School, 6'5", 270. Got a great future here.
2nd down and 7, and it's Jones, or rather they keep it near side, faked it to Jones, and it's Antonio Bryant. Artie, you talk about Abaja-Biamiliu. Why don't you explain the difference that he has to undergo now to play the backer position? Richie Anderson is the running back, and in motion is Keyshawn Johnson. And Johnson underneath, and he's tackled out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Asamoah out of Cal able to make the bump.
Raiders playing in nickel coverage that time, and Asamoah covering the veteran Keyshawn Johnson via Tampa Bay, was with the New York Jets, and obviously out of USC. You know, you take a look here at Nambi. Number 21, second-year guy. I think he's got some real talent. He did a lot of quality work this offseason, recovering from a shoulder surgery, and he's gotten a bunch of reps this year in training camp.
3rd down and 5. And Vinny Testaverde will call a timeout. This is the 12th play of the drive on a 3rd and 5. Testaverde 4 of 5, and underneath, and that's going to be a Dallas 1st down on the stop. Danny Clark, Antonio Bryant making the catch.
Yeah, the Raiders came on a safety blitz, and Testaverde read it perfectly through the slant, trying to pick up the 1st down on a short crossing route.
Yeah, you take a look and see 57 Dwayne Rudd comes, and you're right, Jim. That was an excellent pickup by the offensive line, but also Vinny Testaverde getting rid of the ball. One thing about Rob Ryan, he is not going to sit back and be non-aggressive this year. As the season goes on and as the preseason unfolds, look for him to implement more and more of his blitz package.
Short by literally an inch. So Artie, going to be 4th down and inches.
I think the same thing, Grant, that I said about the Raiders before. I think if you're the tuna, you go for it. You got a big offensive line, hand the ball off, and feel good about yourself in short yardage.
And Pluck, I mean, come on. This is a didn't score any points last week. This is a Cowboys team that needs any type of confidence they can get.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they want to put points on the board. They want to show that they're not as bad as they appeared a week ago. And they're going to take some chances. This, after all, this still is preseason. Yep. You got a new quarterback in Vinny Testaverde. You're going to take some chances and take some shots into the end zone.
Brayton, Perella, and Warren Sapp in up front. Eddie George, and now it's Testaverde keeping it himself. And he has the Cowboys 1st down with under 10 minutes left in the half.
And the Cowboy offensive line. Adams is 345. Larry Allen 335. The center 300. Gerard, the right guard, who he quarterback sneaked behind just there, 325. I mean, this is a group that pulls in at about 330 per minute. So you ought to go and you ought to try it. I thought that was the right call by the Cowboys. And you know what else, though? It's great for the Raiders to see that short yardage defense, tough to practice.
Yeah, I'm not so sure Vinny Testaverde exactly like that quarterback sneak call, but, you know, he does what the coach says.
He better believe he does.
Julius Jones in at running back as Testaverde has the new set of downs. Testaverde looks right, throws right, and head is picked off and dropped. Oh, boy. How about that? As you're looking at Ray Buchanan, who had nothing but green grass in front of him.
Excuse me, Grant. Denard Walker does a good job on the slant, tipping the ball up. The free safety, Ray Buchanan, is sitting there. The ball is tipped to him. This is excellent defense. Rob Ryan's going to love this. Excellent play by 25 Denard Walker, but that's the old tip drill, Ray. You got to catch one. He'll get a ton of heat from the guys in the film session about dropping that one.
All right, 2nd and 10. And here's the little delay. Jones going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Travion Smith. Travion Smith is having himself a whale of a first half for the Silver and Black.
And it shows you what the kind of diversity this Rob Ryan defense has. They brought Travion Smith off the corner. He was able to catch that draw play before it even got to the line of scrimmage. Great play by Travion Smith and the Raider defense.
Julius Jones, the second-round draft choice out of Notre Dame, had a good week last week against Houston. But you know what? Welcome to the NFL,
That's right.
Julius.
Yeah, he ran for 200 yards in 3 separate games last year. But as you pointed out, it's a little bit different up here.
Yes.
And the Raider defense again looking at a 3rd and 10. And overthrown. Testaverde intended for Antonio Bryant. You see Buchanan on the coverage. And once again, we will look at a Dallas field goal attempt.
Little miscommunication that time by Testaverde with his wide receiver, but good coverage by the Raider defense. It looked like it was a cover 2, which is a rolled up corner and a safety. A little change up that time by Rob Ryan because the last couple of times he had come after the offense.
Billy Cundiff to try to give the Cowboys the lead. From 28 yards out.
Tied an NFL record last year with 7 field goals against the Giants.
And that just does squeak over. So the Cowboys take the lead here in quarter number 2, and they lead it 6-3 on the Oakland Raiders television network. Coach Joe Avezzano, who obviously comes over from the Cowboys. Long legacy there in Dallas, but now he's with the Silver and Black.
3-time NFL special teams Coach of the Year. I think he's been an excellent addition to this coaching staff. A special teams coach should be called the special teams coordinator, because that's what he is.
And an opportunity for Chris Cole from his tent. And Cole's across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Timeout with 8:17 left in the half here on the Oakland Raiders television network. Folks, the Raiders have had 5 head coaches here in Coach of the Year honors. Al Davis, back in '63, his first year with the organization. John Rouse followed in '65, then John Madden in 1969. Tom Flores in the strike-shortened 1982 season. And Art Shell, the first African-American coach in NFL history, took the award in 1990. Gannon looking long for Porter. He's got him. And Roy Williams makes the touchdown-saving tackle at the 32. What a pass by the veteran Rich Gannon.
You know, and that's what one of the question marks about Rich Gannon. Was he willing and able to put the ball down the field? Well, I think that proves that he's certainly willing and able to put the ball down the field as Jerry Porter goes down the seam. He's got to be covered by the linebacker in a cover 2 zone defense, and it's a perfect throw by Rich Gannon, a great catch by Jerry Porter.
And that's how you beat cover 2, Jim. You know this better than I do. You split the seam with a fast receiver like a Jerry Porter lined up on the inside.
A 41-yard hook up, Gannon to Porter, and again it's Gannon looking long, this time for Gabriel, bumping going on, and it's a jump ball, and it is incomplete.
Doug Gabriel, a big touchdown catch against the 49ers a week ago as there's a penalty flag on the ground away from the play. Good coverage that time by Hunter as we see Gabriel, the second-year man out of Central Florida, jog back to the huddle.
Before the ball was thrown, holding defense, number 58. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Scott Shanley is called from Nebraska on the hold.
And has embraced the great heritage of the Raiders. And those 5 Coaches of the Year awards are something to strive for.
1st and 10. Gannon with the pump fake. Gannon to the end zone. Incomplete. Again, looking for Jerry Porter.
No, he's well covered that time, Jerry was. But one of the things about throwing the ball to Jerry Porter, he's so big, he's so strong, he's got a definite advantage of going up for the ball if you put it up high and away from the defender. And, you know, it was a good chance to take. If Jerry Porter couldn't catch it, nobody could.
And you know what? He's finally the #1 guy. Had a big year. The Raiders went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, caught 51 passes, has caught 99 passes now in the years that he's been with the Raiders. Look for him to have a big year this year.
Gannon 6 of 13 in the first half for 86 yards. 2nd and 10. And it's Vargas hit at the line of scrimmage, pushed forward inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Marcellus Wiley on the stop, who of course they picked up as a free agent from San Diego.
It was a little bit different game than we saw a week ago. It was offensive show by both clubs, both San Francisco and the Raiders. This week it's more defense exhibiting the displaying how good they can be. And so, you know, different things are being accomplished out there nonetheless by both offense and defense.
Jim, what do you think of the fact that Rich now has played the whole first quarter and most of the second quarter?
Well, I think Norv Turner wants to get, him to get a good hard look at this new offense put in by Norv Turner.
Movement. They draw the Cowboys offside. Just a free play for Gannon. He knows it, and it's incomplete. He knew that that penalty was on Dallas. Incomplete, but obviously there will be a 5-yard penalty.
But to continue, answering that question, I think he just wants these guys to feel comfortable with the things they're doing out there offensively.
I think you're right. And the coaching staff told us that Rich was
good to see the rookie Jake Grove at center, who has looked so good in camp. Another one of the outstanding draft picks, Porter, and his momentum carries him out of bounds inside the 14-yard line. And the first down for the Raiders on that 3rd down. So a smart play, and Plunk, that's like, get a couple yards, move those chains.
Yeah, get the first down, try to get in the end zone, obviously, but another good change-up. Earlier, one of the earlier drives, he bootlegged and came out the back end. This time he rolled towards the play and found Jerry Porter all alone on a short out route. Pick up the first down.
I mentioned this early, but last week against the Niners, 16 different receivers had a reception from the Raider passing game, which is just absolutely outstanding.
All right, a first down from the 13. Gannon looking left, flag down. Gabriel trying for a hand grab, incomplete.
It might be a formation penalty or an offsides because the side judge threw the flag, and it did not appear to be any illegal contact by anyone.
Illegal formation offense. Number 85 covered the tight end. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
I'm in mid-season form with the penalties. I don't know about you guys.
Cowboys with that 3-point lead. Justin Ferguson at running back, and he gets the ball inside the 10th, down near the 6. Roy Williams coming up to make the hard pop for the Cowboys.
Boy, Jake Grove that time did an excellent job of blocking for Justin Fargas. So gotta love that particular play.
Great second-round pick.
Crockett at fullback, Fargas right behind him. And it is Fargas, and he's in for the Raiders touchdown. Nice job to elude at the line of scrimmage. He made that little jab step to the right, and the Raiders have the lead back. Justin Fargas from 6 yards out, and it's 9-6, silver and black.
You know what? That's one of the things that Justin Fargas can do extremely well, make somebody miss. He's got great lateral movement. He makes a good move right there to make that number 30, I think 3, miss the tackle, and he gets into the end zone. He's a very hard man to bring down in the open field.
Beautiful block by Langston Walker to seal it for Fargas. And Janikowski trying to make it a 4-point advantage. 5:27 here in the first half, and the Raiders top 10-6 on the Raiders television network.
And hazing the other day.
I kind of like it. He's a rookie, isn't he?
He's a rookie.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it will be taken by Cooper. Ooh, big hit. And Cooper down at the 28-yard line. Nash made the contact. Well, you talk about blocking at the point of attack. Well done by the Raiders on that touchdown run.
Watch these two guys right here. Watch Langston Walker block down, and then Doug Jolly, the tight end, down and out as Fargas takes the ball and runs up inside here on a little delay for a touchdown. Great job, Langston, the second-year man out of Cal, and Doug Jolly to the left of your screen. That's called a big hole. Steve Wisniewski, what do you think of that?
Yeah, Langston Walker is having a fantastic training camp. The Raider coaches and scouts rate him right now as the highest producing offensive lineman for the Raiders. Offensive line, one of the deepest positions on the team. They can only keep 8 or possibly 9, but there's 13 quality players there right now.
See the completion to Witten, and Witten gets a short gain on the play. Bernard Walker on the coverage for the Raiders. Ball at the 31-yard line. Second down and 8. Testaverde, who was thrown into the number 1 spot after the Cowboys released starting back from a year ago, Quincy Carter. Julius Jones, the tailback, Keyshawn Johnson in motion. Jones drops the ball, and Brayton couldn't grab it, and it stays Cowboys football.
You know, it's been amazing. Last week against the 49ers, there were no turnovers. Tonight, there are no turnovers again. I mean, that's 6 quarters now in the preseason without a team turning the ball over. As we take a look at the fumble, and the ball gets into the breadbasket of Jones, but he just doesn't cover the ball up. And sometimes the quarterback running back exchange, although it appears simple, is difficult to get down in terms of timing. That was an example of it.
Terry Glenn is at the bottom of the screen here on a 3rd and 10. 4:15 left. Testaverde. And it is complete, just barely. Terry Glenn able to hold on somehow as Derek Gibson rattled his teeth on that one. Gibson came up and made the stop, and Glenn somehow holds on to that football, an 18-yard completion.
You know, a very good play by Derek Gibson coming up, making the hit on him. The ball was thrown low. It was impossible to intercept. He caught it low to the ground. Almost impossible to knock it out of his grasp.
Grant Napier, Artie Gigantino, Jim Plunkett, George Atkinson, Steve Wisniewski on the sideline, and our host Jim Gray, who will be coming shortly at halftime. Glad that you're with us here on the Raiders Television Network on a 1st and 10. Julius Jones with Darian Barnes in motion. And it's Barnes. And Barnes a short game. Let's get down to the field and check in with George Atkinson.
Guys, I have with me number 58, Napoleon Harris, who was injured in practice during this training camp. Talk a little bit about your injury and what's happening with it.
Well, it's a lateral meniscus tear. Hopefully I'll be back soon. They say it's an injury that lasts about 3 to 6 weeks. But, you know, I'm a speedy recoverer, so I've been doing workouts already, rehabbing, and I should be back for the opener.
Now, will that set you back at all when you come back? Do you have to go into a full reconditioning thing?
I don't think so. I've been riding the bike thus far. I'm going to get in the pool and maintain my conditioning level and hopefully come back and hit the ground running.
Okay, guys, back to you.
All right, Testaverde finds Terry Glenn for a 1st down. And Glenn, who last year led the Cowboys in receiving yardage, pick up there. But now, you know, boy, Napoleon Harrison has played so well for the Raiders. And he says he's a young guy, quick killer, and hopefully he'll be back on the field soon.
Yeah, holding.
Offense, number 77. Pull the defender down on top of him. 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Hopefully is the right word, because he's a talented young guy, and he will be a real welcome addition back into the puzzle of things when he does return from the sidelines.
Yeah, but Plunk, you know, you talk about this franchise, and they don't just sit around. And what happens? They pick up a veteran like a Dwayne Rudd, all right? And he steps in, talking about a guy that played in Tampa Bay last year. He has a lot of experience, very good against the run. And when you have depth like that, you're in good shape as you look at Dwayne Rudd, number 57.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and a year ago they had injury problems, so they went out this offseason, found a lot of quality players that can step right in with no drop-off in performance.
All right, Testaverde on a 2nd down at 18. Testaverde with good protection this time, and throws to Keyshawn Johnson underneath, and Johnson short pickup on the play to the 48-yard line. Asamoah comes up to make the stop, and that should get us to the 2-minute warning.
And that was an example of better open field tackling that time by Danny Clark and Nnamdi. Now watch what happens over here. Here's Danny Clark. He's sitting right. Here's Nnamdi. Clark's inside, and they do an excellent job of coming up and making the tackle in the open field. Last week that was a problem. The coaches corrected it this week in practice, and you see the results of hard work this week showing in positive results on the field.
2 minutes left. Raiders with the lead on the Oakland Raiders Television Network.
California, grew up in the area. His life has come full circle. Greg Papa will sit down with Norv Turner, and we'll also have statistics and highlights, and Jerry Jones will sit down with us at the beginning of the 3rd quarter as the Cowboys continue this drive. Let's head back upstairs to Grant.
All right, Jim, appreciate it. That's a pick up to Keyshawn Johnson, good for the 1st down, and it's across the 45, a 9-yard pass play from Testaverde to Johnson.
Coaches love these situations in the preseason. Oh, the 2-minute drill, you know, the ability to test their football team, how to move down the field into scoring position with the clock and the defense working against you.
Testaverde on a 1st down, quick pass, and running out of bounds with that football was Jason Witten, the tight end. Derek Gibson on the stop. Well, you took the history, and boy, you go back to 2000. What a great draft. You know, a lot of people said crazy to take Janikowski with a high pick. Well, everybody's seen that that was the best move to see Gibson out of Florida State. Then in 2002, guys, you got Philip Buchanan and Napoleon Harrison. Look at last year, and then how about Robert Gallery this year?
Well, you know what? The great thing is these 1st-round picks, every 1st-round pick is making a major contribution.
That's exactly
or
right.
Will make a major contribution.
Here comes the pressure. Jones gets through the line of scrimmage, and Gibson able to make the stop at the 35-yard line.
You know, Grant, going back to the first rounders and the young draft choices in this organization, of this 80-man roster, 32 players were drafted by the Raiders. So they've done an excellent job of finding the right talent in college. And again, you talked about Derek Gibson, a first-round pick out of Florida State.
Now the Raiders going with their first unit here in the final 45 seconds of the half. It's a 3rd down and 4. Bryant looking for the first down, and Bryant nudges forward, and it's going to be close. Looks like he does have the first down. Yes, he does. Clock moving down to 32 seconds, and now the Cowboys stop it.
You know, one of the things they're trying to do here, though, is, you know, it looks like they're playing for a field goal and not trying to go in the end zone and try to get 6 points out of it, which I don't see why they wouldn't in a situation like this. It is preseason. You want to be able to test what you could do down the field in a 2-minute situation, yet they seem to be opting for just to get a field goal.
But you know what, though?
Here.
That's tuna ball. That's what Bill Parcells does. The guy's a conservative coach. He's obviously a great coach, but he wants to beat you with special teams. He wants to beat you with the running game, and he wants to beat you with defense. He don't want to beat you with the passing game.
Well, absolutely. He wants a game just like this, where he's in it till the very end.
Absolutely.
So he has the opportunity to win one way or the other when it comes to the final gun.
Now 6 of 9 on 3rd down, and the football right at the 31-yard line.
Last week they were atrocious on 3rd down, 3 of 12.
Dallas, 1 timeout left. They split the backs. Testaverde. And Bryant makes the catch at the 15. Antonio Bryant with a first down. Clock moving.
You took your advice that time, Plunk. Threw it down the field a little bit more.
16-yard play, and now a flag comes flying. And you know what? The Cowboys weren't set. You got to be set for a count. We're not.
Yeah, that's exactly the call.
And that's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
But again, I emphasized this before. This is excellent work for the Oakland Raider defense, just like Bill Parcells believes it's excellent work for his offense.
Ed Hockley talking it over with his officials. And you can you bet that Bill Parcells is yelling all the way across the field, and Ed Hockley goes over to talk to him and says, you're going to have to take a timeout here. Now Vinny Testaverde will come over as well to get in on the conversation. You know, Plunk, talk about a veteran quarterback like Testaverde, who all of a sudden, you know, comes from a place where he was a backup quarterback to Chad Pennington. He did play 6 games last year as a starter when Pennington broke his hand, and all of a sudden, he's not expecting to start here.
It's a false start by the center. Offense double-clutched the ball. That play would result in a 10-second runoff. However, Dallas has chosen to use their last timeout instead. Therefore, there's no runoff. Timeout Dallas. That's their 3rd and final. It's a 30-second timeout.
Well, and again, back to Testaverde. I mean, he's in a situation where he wasn't expecting to start, and here he is as the #1 guy.
You know, I'm sure he relishes the opportunity. You know, been in the league 18 years. He gets an opportunity to start with another team after being a backup to Chad Pennington with the Jets. So, you know, he's going to take it for all it's worth. You know, I'm sure he wants to be the starting quarterback come opening day.
Artie, now the Cowboys without any timeouts because they didn't want that 10-second runoff. So the Raiders defense will try to keep him in bounds. 15 seconds left.
And if I'm the Cowboys, I throw it deep twice and then try to kick the field goal. Now, if I'm the Raider defense, and I know Rob Ryan's told his guys that, you want to keep the football in front of you, as it looks like the Raiders are in a 4-man defensive line.
Keyshawn Johnson is in on this play with 3 wide receivers. Johnson underneath, inbounds. And Cowboys are going to have to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. They've got time with 10 seconds.
And they'll kill the ball here and then kick the field goal as 7 seconds are left.
This time Testaverde does make sure that everybody's set, and with 3 seconds left spikes the football, and on comes the Cowboys field goal unit.
Good job by the Raider defense, again, of not giving up the big play, keeping the ball in front of you and keeping the football in bounds.
Matt Bryant will attempt the field goal, and this will be a 29-yard kick. Drew Henson to hold on what should be the last play of the half. And the kick is up and good. And that ends the half. So, with 30 minutes of football in the books, it's the Oakland Raiders 10, the Dallas Cowboys 9, here on the Oakland Raiders Television Network.
Thank you, Jim. When Al Davis hired Norv Turner back in late January, he spoke of the passing of the torch, the lineage of the head coaching job with the Oakland Raiders. And Norv, you probably know this better than anybody growing up in the Bay Area, growing up in Martinez, watching the Raiders in the 60s and 70s. But what does it mean? How significant is it to you to be the head coach of the Oakland Raiders?
Mr. Davis' 75th birthday, a lot of the great Raiders were there, the Hall of Fame guys, the guys from Super Bowl teams, Art Shell, Gene Upshaw. I could go on Cliff Branch, name the guys, and getting to spend a day or two with them and talk football and be around them. And, you know, it gives you a real sense of responsibility, what this job is and, you know, what this team means. And, you know, I understand the responsibility, and I'm excited to have it.
Let's talk football philosophy. A lot has been said about your offensive philosophy, power running, vertical passing. Is that accurate? Is that how you would describe your offense, power running, vertical passing?
I don't think you can be that stereotype in this age. You have to be more complete than that. I think there was a time you could be a power running team and just emphasize the vertical passing game. We want to be more complete, more balanced than that.
How close are you going to be involved in the day-to-day, play-to-play aspect of the defense, and how much will you delegate to new coordinator Rob Ryan?
Rob's going to coordinate this defense. He's going to create the defense. It's a great system. He's going to call it on game day. We've talked a lot about situations, and again, there's certain things where I think I've looked and said, hey, this is the way I would see handling that situation. He says, yeah, you know, whether it be 2-minute, whether it be end of the game, 4-minute drill, different situations. So certainly there's, as a head coach, there's things you have to make a decision on, but in terms of the play-to-play decisions, those are going to be Rob's.
Certainly a great name in the NFL, obviously, having a Ryan on your staff. And how about the name Joe Avezzano? Guy who's just legendary coaching special teams. What have you been able to pick up being around him this year?
One of the reasons he came here, he knows my commitment to special teams, and he knows that I want him to coach it. I think it's very similar to what we talked about with Rob and the defense. Joe's going to coach the special teams, and he's going to call it. There's situations, it's 4th and 3 and 4th and 4, and we decide to make a fake, want to fake a punt. Obviously, that's the call I've got the final decision on.
Lastly, Coach, what is the mood of your football team going into this 2004 season?
Most guys are looking forward, and then I think we have a lot of guys who sit there and say, hey, this is a great opportunity for me, you know, and if I make the most of it, you know, I'm going to help myself.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time, and obviously we wish you the very best of luck in 2004. There he is, the head coach of the Oakland Raiders, Norv Turner. Stick around. We'll come back with second-half action. Oakland Raiders preseason football here on the Oakland Raiders television network.
Coach, you're up 10-9 here to half. The first opening drive, you moved the ball 17 plays down the field, but didn't get 6 out of it. Does that concern you?
It's early. I'm pleased with the way we were able to drive the ball. We came out wanting to be physical. We were that. The thing, the biggest concern I had about the first half is defensively on 3rd down. We let them off the hook. We had them in 3rd and long a number of times, let them convert, and then we didn't have the ball because of it.
What did you tell your team at halftime?
Well, we've got a lot of guys, you know, that played last week in the second half are getting another chance to play, and we've said all week, hey, second time around you should play a lot better. I'm looking for our young guys to step up.
Okay, Coach, back to you guys.
All right, George, appreciate it, and it will be the Cowboys getting the football first as the Cowboys trail, and it's Rashard Lee, and it's Lee across the 15, and he sidesteps the tackle, and he's down to the 25-yard line. And we told you about Vinny Testaverde, who played in the first half, and really I think one of the more interesting stories in the National Football League. We talked a little bit about Drew Henson and the Cowboy offense and how they have big things expected of him in the future. The question is, when will the future be for the Dallas Cowboys? So glad that you're with us. And Drew Henson is trying to make the switch from baseball to football from the New York Yankees system. And on first down, he has this man. Well, it's a pleasure to have with us a very special guest. He is the owner, the president, and the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. Also joining us up here is Jim Gray. Jerry, thanks for joining us up here. And I'll tell you, even though it's preseason, it's great to have arguably the 2 best franchises on the field. It seems like every preseason.
Well, it's good to be in Oakland. It's good to be playing the Raiders. Al Davis, of course, Norv Turner is a former in some of the greatest days I've ever had in the NFL. He was our offensive coordinator, and then we got to compete against him with the Redskins. This is a nice night.
Your first look at Drew Henson in a game this weekend here. Your thoughts on Drew, and is he the future of the Cowboys?
I like the way that you saw some accuracy on that first throw. I got a little giddy after one extensive practice we had, and Bill Parcells said, well, Jerry, do we put him in with John Elway this weekend, or do we wait another week? And I said, now, man, get out of here. I've been looking for some encouragement since we lost Troy Aikman, but we've been pleased. He
gave you a great note. Tell our fans about the note that Bill gave you during the week.
Bill sat down and he said, right after that, he took the time and wrote things on a note, and I looked at him and said, what's he into here? He wrote down quarterback, and he said, refer to this even after I'm gone as coach of the Cowboys. So he said, quarterback. After you've been beaten 40-20, you've got a bloody or a broken nose, you face the media and face the fans calling for the second quarterback. You basically go in a huddle with your teammates at practice and don't see any confidence there. When you face all of that and pull out that nosedive and then play a good game, you've got your quarterback.
I want to ask you about Al Davis and your relationship with Al, obviously very close. How much have you modeled the way that you run your team and you've run your organization after Al?
Well, I think that I, first of all, recognize how passionate and how committed that Al is to his franchise, the Raiders. Everything goes to second place if it in any way compromises or even his time or anything for the Raiders. So it's a complete focus. I believe that's the case that I'd like to see for the Cowboys. I want to focus. I had a chance to do a lot of things before I got involved in the NFL. I focus on the Dallas Cowboys. He's my role model there. When Al talks in NFL meetings, everyone listens. He's played a lot of roles in the NFL, but more importantly, everyone understands how much he focuses on what's good for the NFL, what's good for the Raiders. So I look at that. I obviously respect him as an individual. He is his integrity. When he's your friend, he stays your friend.
With Jerry Jones, we have a punt. Grant, take us.
And there's a
we have a flag
down,
right here, so we'll continue with you here, Jerry, through the flag for just a moment here. You mentioned Norv Turner in your first soundbite here with us, and Norv Turner obviously very, very successful back in the Super Bowl days of the Cowboys with Troy Aikman and so forth. What are your thoughts on Norv now coaching the Raiders and once again as a head coach? Anytime
I've ever looked at Norv, I remember how hard he and his brother worked in a single mom family and what they did to shoulder the burden of supporting that family. And that has carried with him throughout his professional career. He's absolutely one of the more innovative but practical offensive-minded coaches there are. And obviously, after being head coach of the Redskins for 8 years, the experience he's got in the NFL, he's bringing all that to bear, and it won't be the first time a coach has been one place and then became a great head coach.
Jim Gray with Jerry Jones. Grant set it up. Kerry Collins now in the ballgame.
That's right. Kerry Collins is Rich Gannon played very well in the first half, and on the first play it's incomplete, but Kerry Collins, who looked very good last week in the win against San Francisco. Jim?
Jerry, similar to the Raiders, the Cowboys aren't allowed to have off years. There is no such thing as rebuilding. And when you go through what the Raiders have gone through and the expectations of the fans, and you've been through it a few times, how is it that the Raiders and the Cowboys have always seemingly managed to get back into the forefront even after having down years?
I think a lot of the expectations make you do that. You can't lose the fort. You may give up some territory, but you just can't go back out there if you've lost the fort. And so you just have to, without being trite, you have to will this thing. And I know what Al and his philosophy, he will do and commit whatever it takes to get competitive again, has the knowledge to do it. That's the same way I feel about the Cowboys. You know, Bill Parcells isn't exactly every day what you want to go to work and be 40 feet away from. And so,
no, really?
And so if you have the decision, do you just dial yourself up a rough day? Well, of course you do if it meets your common goals and you got a lot of talent and you want to win.
You decided this year to go to Oxnard, California. Cowboys trained for years back in the Tom Landry era in Thousand Oaks. Oxnard, of course, the former home of the Raiders when they were down in Los Angeles. We have a Los Angeles station tonight on KCBS, joining us, all the LA fans. What made you decide to come back to California in the Los Angeles, Oxnard area?
Well, for the Cowboys, Tom Landry, Tex Ram had it right. And we have such a really good following in the LA area. I'm an LA native. I was born in El Segundo, and I have a lot of cousins out there. And so the bottom line is it's good for our team, plus it's exciting. We've got to get a team back into LA, and I know that we've got all kinds of issues there, but the bottom line is we got a lot of Raider fans in LA too, and got a lot of NFL football fans, and I'm a big advocate of what's good for the LA and what's good for the Raiders.
Jerry Jones, terrific owner of the Dallas Cowboys, very influential man in the National Football League. We always appreciate your taking the time to join us on the radio television network. Great to see you, and good luck this season.
Jim, someone told me if you get a compliment, shut up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate it.
I guess that's why I've never shut up. Thank you, Jerry.
And we continue to look at Kerry Collins, looking long and incomplete. Good coverage back. Fans look for a penalty, but they don't get it. That pass intended for Doug Gabriel. So with the score 10-9, Kerry Collins will get his group back in the huddle on a 2nd and 10. Ball overthrown, and we welcome back here at the table Artie Gigantino and Jim Plunkett. Again, our thanks to Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones for coming up and spending a few minutes with us here. And his focus, you know, it's funny, while we were talking to him, he didn't miss one play. He's the interview going with Jim Gray, and yet he just did not take his eyes off the football field. Gentlemen, welcome back, and we're looking at Kerry Collins here on a 2nd and 10, and flag comes flying.
You know, we were talking about, Jim and I up there.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
We're talking about some.
And Collins. And they set up the screen, and a big hit applied by Keith O'Neill on Justin Fargas. O'Neill out of Northern Arizona. A good defensive play, and it'll be 3rd and 15.
You talk about reading the screen. He did an excellent job that time of reading the screen and the setup of it. Now you're going to see Fargas sneak out to the right there. Badger, number 70, allows his man to come up the field. Big old 68, Rob Hicks is there. But when you bobble the ball like that, it gives the linebacker a chance to recover, and that's exactly what O'Neill did.
You know, part of that goes to, you know, what you talk about at halftime. Watch this on certain downs. And so they were prepared, and they read it very well, as you said, Artie.
And a quick pass, and it's through the hands of Doug Gabriel.
And that was a corner blitz that time, which allowed Gabriel to be all alone, but you saw Collins parry the throw because the corner, number 25, Jamil Powell, was blitzing.
And not only that, threw a little high and hard under pressure, you know. It could have been caught.
6 yards. Patrick Creighton, what a story he is, out of Northwest Oklahoma State. Last year started at quarterback. He also was a kickoff return man, punt return man, and he also played some wide receivers. Quite an athlete. But you're going to have to be a great athlete to get out of the silver and black there, and he is hammered. Wow, that is tremendous coverage on the Raiders special teams. A 54-yard punt by Shane Leckler.
And the initial hit by number 16, Chris Cole.
With the 1-point lead. We've got a wheel of prizes, spin wheel at each game. I mean, they got a t-shirt relay for the kids, and they can enter to win Disney prizes.
I like that putting green. I might be able to be pretty good at that. Maybe not.
1st and 10. Drew Henson, and it's Jones. And Jones with a good pickup on 1st down. Cowboys with the football, and it's on the ground, and Jones, and he has their 1st down. Back to Drew Henson plunk. Chad Hutchinson tried to do it after not playing for 4 years. The Cowboys say goodbye to him, but they've got high hopes for Drew Henson, but it's got to be difficult after not playing football for 4 years.
Yeah, certainly hopes for this kid, who's a very talented young man, and they're giving him a shot by letting him go number 2 tonight against the Raiders.
And he's looking long and incomplete and almost intercepted. Very good coverage back there by James Bethea, the rookie free agent. He was step for step with the intended receiver, Antonio Bryant.
You know, Bethea, a free agent out of Cal, has been impressive in mini camps and up in Napa. Again, a nice job going up for the ball, run step for step, I think the coaches like him. He's a very good special teams coverage guy, in addition to being a solid corner.
Actually, it was 89, Randall Williams, not 88, Bryant. Nevertheless, an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. And Avian Cason out of Illinois State, 4th-year running back, used primarily as a 3rd down back.
The running back for Ole Miss.
3rd down and 9. And offsides, a free play for Henson, but they blow it dead, though. To the top of the screen to pick up the receiver, Drew Henson, on a 3rd down, less than 4, blitz, and incomplete. Good pressure by the Raiders defense up front. Intended for Dedrick Ward.
And that forced Henson into a misfire. And again, you credit the blitz pressure to force a bad pass on that.
And consequently, he did throw that pass in a hurry.
Matt McBriar in the punt. Ronald Curry back deep. High kick. And Curry with the fair catch signal at the 12-yard line. That's a 33-yard punt. No return with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the 3rd on the Oakland Raiders television network. Him in a moment, because I'll tell you, we talk about him as being a rookie, but boy, he has not played like it as Collins here on the ground to Justin Fargas, and Fargas trying to turn the corner and does, and has a first late flag coming. But boy, Jake Grove really getting the job done in training camp.
Yeah, he really has, and he's got quality work against good people. Watch him here, number 64, keeping his feet moving. He not only can run block, but he can pass protect. Does an excellent job here of pancaking the defender.
Kerry Collins, your Raiders quarterback. Doug Gabriel, bottom of the screen, wide to the left. And Alvis Whitted in the slot. Collins looking for Gabriel. He's got a step. And it's complete. And he may go. Foot race. Touchdown Raiders. Kerry Collins put it right where it had to be to Doug Gabriel. 89 yards on the connection.
You know, I'll tell you, as exciting as that was, I know the one man in this stadium who's extremely excited, and that's Mr. Davis. Seeing the ball thrown down the field, coming up with a big play when you're backed up on your own end zone. And here's Collins. I think he was going that way the whole time. Doug Gabriel gets a step on the defender, makes a good catch as the defender swats at it and everybody into the end zone.
And once again, it was maximum protection with a 3-man pattern. The Raiders gave up 43 sacks a year ago. They're going to max protect more this year to give Rich Gannon and that man, number 5, Kerry Collins, an opportunity to throw the ball deep.
And the point after is good, and it's now 17-9. That to the delight of the crowd here in Oakland. The Raiders extend their lead.
Already mentioned, you know, you keep the backs in, maximum pass protect, give the opportunity for your speed guys to get down the field, and that's exactly what happened.
5th-round draft choice in 2003 from Central Florida, Doug Gabriel.
And Janikowski bounces, and it will be Rashard Lee. And across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
You know, Grant, you take a look, and Jim, at that touchdown again, Kerry Collins drops back, excellent protection, has a wonderful touch on the ball, and the rest is run and catch. And you know, if you really look at it, Jamel Powell, number 25, the cornerback covering that time, didn't have bad coverage. He just misjudged the ball a little bit, but it was a perfectly thrown ball and a nice catch.
Good concentration by Gabriel.
Yes, absolutely.
So 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. Now trailing 17-9. Henson looking left. And it's a completion, pickup of 5 on the play. Dedrick Ward.
State.
Randall Williams in motion. And the handoff to Jones. Julius Jones. Across midfield, right at midfield is where he is brought down. 12-yard pickup on the play.
Now, these guys are fighting like heck to make the football team.
No doubt.
And here's where they get a chance to prove it.
Ball right at the 50-yard line. 1st down. Jones. And Jones, a short gain on the play. Is Jones the ball carrier?
Multi-faceted group of people to the stadium.
By the way, if you're wondering what's the longest pass play in Raiders history, that was not it, but it was close. And I'm sure that the man between Artie and I would know that a lot better than I would, because it was 1983, October 2nd, that Jim Plunkett went the length of the football field to Cliff Branch, 99 yards. Remember that play, Plunk?
Oh, vividly. We were backed up. It was a high-scoring football game. We wound up losing the game, 37-35, but we did a play-action pass, sent Cliff up the left side, and not only did he score the touchdown, he pulled a hamstring about 40 yards from the goal line. They still couldn't catch him.
Jones, and he has the first down. How about that, Artie? I throw it at him. It's 22 years ago, and he knows the score of the game.
Yeah, but you remember things like that. They're implanted in your brain. See, as a coach, you remember all the bad things that happened to you. You know, the good things you let the alumni and the fans worry about. But as a player, you remember all the good things.
Not necessarily. Believe me, I remember a lot of missed opportunities. We could have been in the playoffs a few more times. We could have gone a couple of more Super Bowls if we hadn't made some mistakes along the way.
First down and 10 as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter. Play action. And a well-thrown football from Henson to Dedrick Ward. And right at the chain, he makes the catch. And they are going to give him, it looks like, the first down.
And not
completion for a first down.
Him, like a lot of players on the field now, just need repetitions. You know,
right, no, sure.
Just need the reps. Spring practice, so to speak.
Hasn't played in 4 years.
Hasn't played.
And it's Jones. And Jones hit after a gain of 3 on the play. Tim Johnson met him head on.
Good swarm that time, Grant, by the Raider defense. A lot of silver helmets and black shirts around the ball. And you know, you're going to have a lot of players around the ball when the regular season starts, because the Raiders have a difficult schedule. Opening at Pittsburgh on September 12th, coming back against Buffalo here and Tampa Bay on the 26th. 5 teams on that schedule were in the playoffs a year ago.
And Henson again, Aranda Williams. And Williams has a Cowboys first down.
So it's going to be tough out there.
All right, first down. And Jones. And he is wrapped up and he is driven back. No gain on the play. And he was met by a host of Raiders up front. Tommy Kelly, the first one to get there. Tommy Kelly, a 300-pound rookie free agent from Mississippi State.
And you know what? Rob Ryan is going to love this. This is team defense. It's minus yardage. Your big old nose guard gets up the field, makes a play in the backfield, and he's joined by a bunch of his teammates. You see 48 somersault coming off the corner. 68 David Nugent. Good, solid team defense for the Raiders.
10th play of the drive for the Cowboys. Down 17. Jones breaks a tackle and he's inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line.
You know, I saw
last week in the loss at Houston, he had 57 yards. Third down, and Jones trying to turn the corner. And he's in for the Cowboys touchdown. Keon Nash had him by the back of the jersey, but couldn't bring him down. And so Nash makes it a 2-point game. Let's see if Dallas goes for 2 here.
You know, Bill Parcells in that drive decided to button up the chin strap, so to speak, and
3 left here in the third. Cowboys trying to tie it up. Drew Henson, the quarterback. In motion is Ward. Jones didn't get there. He was stopped short, and the Raiders keep the lead at 17-15. Summersell was there. He had some help. But nice job by Andre Summersell, the 7th-round pick out of Colorado State.
What's important to me is the legacy we leave, the greatness of the Raiders. I wanted to build the finest organization in professional sports. I wanted to have the greatest coaches. I wanted to play in the greatest games. I wanted to have the greatest plays. Obviously, I wanted to win more than anyone else.
And Ike Charlton runs it out past the 30 to the 32.
And you know, we talk about Al Davis, and I mentioned this before. A national publication came out this week. It was talking about some ex-Raiders, Art Shell, Mike Haynes, in NFL higher-up positions. Gene Upshaw, president of the Players Association. It not only reaches here on the field and in football, but people outside of football or outside the actual playing of football doing very well. The diversity in hiring and opportunities that Mr. Davis have given the people in the Raider organization is just unparalleled anywhere in sport.
Troy Hambrick, who of course comes over from the Dallas Cowboys, last year started every game for the Cowboys, gets his first carry.
You know, and I can speak on that too, as well, Artie. You know, gave me certainly another opportunity to stay in the National Football League, as he did so many others. And not only, and when many of us are through, you know, we come back to the Raider organization, the Raider fold, and work in some capacity for the Raiders. We enjoy being around this family of ours.
And you know what? And the Raiders have set a standard around professional sports for doing just that, Jim. Big time.
2nd down and 8. And Troy Hambrick, the ball carrier, and Hambrick's across the 40-yard line. And they're going to spot the ball, looks like just shy of the first down.
I wonder what's going through Hambrick's mind tonight. Dallas Cowboy, leading rusher a year ago, released in the offseason. Raiders picked him up. He's come in here, hopefully to make the football team, 5th-year man out of Savannah State. But you wonder what's going through his mind a little bit tonight.
Well, I know exactly what's going through his mind. To show the Dallas Cowboys that they made a mistake.
Absolutely.
See Hambrick behind Hetherington. And it is Hambrick. And Hambrick's going to be stopped short of the first down. So it's going to bring up a 4th down. And the Raiders will send down the punting unit.
Yeah, they came with a corner.
For what they do in the special teams area.
All right, the 3rd quarter is over. And the Raiders with the 2-point lead. Back here in Oakland, let's get down to the field, and Steve Wisniewski.
Hey, thank you, Grant. I tell you, this is the reality television series of the year, the NFL preseason. We have 83 men who are fighting each other and other teams for a 53-man roster. The hitting is intense. Their emotions are running high, and they only have 12 days left to impress the coaches in 3 games to fight a spot on the 2004 Raider roster.
Hey, Wiz, did you ever worry about your job, or did you always have it made?
No, everybody's worrying about their job, and not only that, you want to improve. Even guys like Rich Gannon, he's fighting. His emotions are running high. He wants to prove to everyone that he's come back from that injury. It doesn't matter what level you're at. Warren Sapp, Pro Bowl players, they want to improve, and they want to impress the coaches in the preseason.
All right, Wiz, appreciate it. 29-yard punt. As kicking that football was Steve Baker.
You know, we talk about some key dates that Wiz was talking about. When the cut down on August 31st, you have to be down to a 65-man roster. September 5th, a 53-man roster. And then September 9th, the season starts and, of course, ends up on February 6th in Jacksonville with the Super Bowl.
Rashard Lee in at running back. And he is hit first by Tim Johnson, who got good penetration from his linebacker position.
Rashard Lee. You stand that theme about, you know, playing hard, trying to make this football team, but they're also trying to make it for other teams as well.
Yes,
you know, as good as they might be, there might not just be room for them on this particular football team, but there might be room for them on another NFL football team somewhere along the line. So they've got to play hard every down, make an impression on somebody who's watching this football game.
Yeah, that's a great point. It really is, because obviously coaches exchange tapes, and everybody sees everybody play every play.
And there's scouts here tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, 2nd down and 9 for Henson. Play action. Henson looking near side and dumps it underneath. And Rashard Lee is met by 3 silver and black jerseys. And he is ridden back forward progress. Will get him over the 35 to the 37-yard line. 4th quarter action here from Oakland on a 3rd down and short. And it's complete as Henson dumped it off to the fullback. And it is complete. Looks like it was Sean Ryan out of Boston College who
and gently floated the ball to him. It was a very nice play on Drew Henson's part.
Ball actually at the 45, not midfield, and it is the 2nd man through Rashard Lee, and Lee now is to midfield and just over into Raiders territory. Bobby Brooks out of Fresno State on the tackle, the 3rd year,
which we had talked about at the beginning of the quarter.
Marcus Tuiasosopo is warming up below us on the near sideline, and he may be coming in on the next set of downs as Tim Johnson again stops Rashard Lee.
And one of the things I've noticed a little bit in the second half is Stuart Schwigert from Purdue, a third-round pick, who broke all of Rod Woodson's interception records at Purdue. But he's in on a lot of plays. He's coming up, trying to be a part, make this team number one. Fights off a block, gets in on the tackle.
Yeah, he had 17 interceptions at Purdue. And he started all but 2 games during his tenure with the Boilermakers. And that's defense right there. They will not get the first down. Great job defensively led by David Nugent. Speaking of Purdue, he got there first.
Well, Nugent got there first, but I like the fact that David Terrell was there, and also Nnamdi was there also. You have like that good, solid defensive swarm.
All right, Ronald Curry is back deep. And he just get away from it. He's going to let it bounce. And it will go all the way inside the 10-yard line as Ryan Flynn gets the nice bounce for the Cowboys. A 42-yard punt here in the fourth quarter.
You know, and as you mentioned earlier.
And at quarterback for the Raiders, Marcus Tuiasosopo. What a game he had last week against San Francisco. 10 of 16, 191 yards, a touchdown. He was outstanding. Pump fake from the goal line. Looking, and Tui picks up where he left off. Oh, boy. Elvis Whitted on the first play, and Marcus Tuiasosopo still with the hot hand.
You know, how much do you like this offense, giving all the quarterbacks the opportunity to throw the ball down the field, starting with Rich Ganning, Kerry Collins, and now Tui stands in there. A little bit of pressure. He waits, he pump fakes, he hits Whitted, Elvis Whitted, number 87, right on the numbers. Great catch.
33-yard pass play from Tuiasosopo to Whitted, and that gets the ball all the way to the 40. What poise by Tui on that play. He was standing on the goal line. He waited. He was patient. Great job there as Elvis Whitted comes up big. First down and 10 here in the fourth with the Raiders on the move. Tuiasosopo buying time and through the hands of Chris Hetherington.
Now you take a look at Hetherington missing the pass. Tui says, hey, you got to catch that thing. Tui last week against the 49ers, as you guys mentioned, 10 completions, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, and a lot of good movement from the quarterback position, avoiding tacklers.
He kept bringing the
lining up to the right. Johnny Morant in the game. He's at the very top of your screen. And play action. The screen. And a little bit too high for Troy Hambrick. Well, let's get downstairs. George Atkinson with Tyrone Wheatley. George?
Guys, you talk about the lateral game and what makes the lateral game work. Well, you got to have a running game. And the guy who runs the football for the Oakland Raiders and who's been running quite well this preseason, Tyrone Wheatley. Tyrone?
How you doing there?
You know, when you talk about the running game, look like you are featured more this year. Talk a little bit about this offense.
Well, the offense, as you just said, you know, he has a very, very unique running style with the offense, but also he wants that to set up the vertical game. It's not too many dink and dunk passes in this offense. Sometimes it looks like it's all or none. And you want to get those safeties down in there. And as you know, in that spot, you head hunting, you get them safeties down there head hunting, and then you put one over top who's a corner who's playing one-on-one. And we have some jet getters on this team. We have some guys who can really go get it.
And now, what do we can expect from Tyrone Wheatley this year?
Well, you know, this year I'm just trying to get my game, improve it. You know, a little more open field running, because it looks like I'm going to be in open field a little bit more this year. And I'm just trying to, right now, work on my open field running, making some guys miss. And, you know, just some things like that. Not the old bull in the china shop anymore.
The bull in the china shop, guys. Here he is, Tyrone Wheatley. Back to you, guys.
See, I like that bull in the china shop sometimes. Knock all the china over. Knock those defenders over.
All right, now Troy Hambrick. Boy, how about Tuiasosopo on that previous pass play? Standing in the pocket plunk. I mean, he waited and was hit as he threw the ball and still got it to Johnny Morant.
You know, that's what makes an NFL quarterback. You got to be able to, stand the pressure, number one. Don't be distracted by people rushing at you, and get the ball to the, the intended receiver.
You know what my observation of him in camp has been? Confidence.
Yep.
A lot more confident in what he's doing, sure in what he's doing, knows where to throw the ball.
And he's always been a poised young man.
Yes, yes.
Second down and 8. Morant to the right, Whitted to the left. And he's looking for Morant. And he made the catch, but he was out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And it'll be third down and 8.
You know, one of the things I think that got him in trouble earlier in his career, and they're going to show this pass play, was just off the mark, just slightly. Looks off the safety, which is a great sign of a mature quarterback, and just barely throws it out of bounds for Johnny Moran. But one of the things I think that got him in trouble early in his career was trying to do too much. You know, you want to make the team, you want to impress the coaches, so you try to force the ball or try to do something that's really not percentage-wise a good thing to do. So he's learned, he's matured.
All right, John Stone again out there with Moran. It's 3rd down and 8, and we have a whistle. 3rd and long. Cowboys rush 4. Tui eludes, and Tui Asasopo. Loose football, still loose. And it looks like the Cowboys may have fallen on that. Tui Asasopo trying to get some extra yardage, and it's the first turnover of the preseason.
And that's what happens sometimes with a running quarterback. The ball is held a little loosely. A defender that time knocked it out from behind. Now watch Tui, who was a great runner at the University of Washington. Number 54 does a great job, Keith O'Neill, of coming over the top, knocking the ball loose. However, I think he might have been down, before the ball got knocked out.
Plunk, it looks like that knee was on the ground before the ball came out. Here.
The quarterback's knee hit the ground before the ball came loose. Therefore, he was down by contact. It's Oakland's ball, 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Yep, first down at the 37. No timeout charged. And Marcel sends his defense back onto the field. Drive by Marcus Tui Asasopo. Hetherington and Hambrook behind the quarterback Tui. Fake pitch. And they throw underneath. Teo Johnson. And Johnson wrestled from behind at the 35-yard line. Gain on the play.
You know, all those passes don't look like they're very long, but sometimes you're intended, first of all, to get the team going the other way, the defense going the other way, but number 2, to get the ball to the tight end quickly and let him break a tackle. Unfortunately, Teo was not able to do so that time.
Teo Johnson, guys, with a big week against the 49ers a week ago, a big game, 3 catches for 55 yards.
See 2 receivers at the top of the screen, the I formation. On a 2nd and 8. Here comes the blitz. And Tui gets it to Hetherington, and he stopped for little or no gain. Coming up to make the stop for the Cowboys was Keith O'Neill. Back here in Oakland before we resume play, let's get to Steve Wisniewski. Wiz?
Hey, thank you. I'm with Robert Gallery, 1st-round draft pick out of the University of Iowa. You didn't play tonight, Robert. You had a great game last week. You tweaked your elbow. How you feeling, and what's your prognosis?
Feeling good. It's made a lot of progress, and hopefully be ready to go next weekend.
Okay, now some other news. You decided to change your number. In college, you were number 78. Last week, you were number 74. But what's going on? Now I hear you want to be number 76.
Yeah, you know, the last guy who wore it, you know, it's a pretty good role model, a good guy to follow after. So, you know, it was open, and, you know, I got a chance to talk to him, and he let me change to it.
Hey, I'm honored to have you wear 76. But what's going on? What's going on now with these eyebrows here? Was there some rookie hazing? I notice your beard's been shaved, and there's a little something going on with the eyebrows. What happened to you?
Yeah, they let the hair stay, but the beard and the eyebrows got changed a little bit. So that was, you know, all the older guys sat me down and gave me that one.
Great young player for the future of the Oakland Raiders. It's an honor that he would choose number 76. Back to you, man.
All right, Wiz. Yeah, how about that, Robert Gallery? A little bit of a different look, not only with the jersey, but the facial hair as well.
Yeah, but it's quite an honor, I think, for him to choose Wiz's jersey.
Absolutely. And it looks Hambrook to 20. I'll tell you, how about that play Tui did again on 3rd down? Marcus Tui Asasopo in the silver and black on this drive, guys. They've converted 3 third-down conversions to keep the ball alive. Look at the clock now. It's down to 6:35 and moving. He's doing a great job of eating up the time.
And, you know, you play into a field goal situation here. You get up by 5. You know, the Raiders are in pretty good shape. Now, obviously, you'd like to score a touchdown when you get down here. But right now, 17-15, they're up by 2. You want to get up by 5. Or at least a minimum of 5, excuse me.
All right, 2nd down and 5. They fake to Hambrook. And Tui Asasopo does well to get back to the line of scrimmage. And that will make it a 3rd down with 6 or 7 left.
Every time he drops back, you know why he was one of the few players in the history of college football to run for over 1,000 yards and pass for over 1,000 yards in 1 year. He's got obviously excellent athletic ability, but he's elusive. He's a guy that's spontaneous. He's a guy that can make tacklers miss.
Yeah, but on that particular situation, he probably should have stayed in bounds and kept the clock running. So there's a lot of things to think about.
3rd down and 7. Albus Whitted near side. John Stone, Johnny Morant, top of the screen, and a whistle, and it looks like a false start. So instead of 3rd and 7, it's going to be 3rd and 12.
Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Well, Raiders are getting a good look at their 3rd down offense tonight. Not only in the first half, but in the second half. We take a look at big old number 78, Chad Slaughter, a 4th-year man out of Alcorn State. Solid player, big, 6'8", 340 pounds, long arms, which is excellent for pass protection.
69 yards and penalties for the Raiders. 3rd down and 12. 5.5 left, 4th quarter. Cowboys blitzing. Tuiasosopo gets rid of one. Now it's Redmond. And a big hit. But inside the 18, I'll tell you what Tuiasosopo does there, guys. He makes it a much easier field goal attempt by the nimble feet to get away from the defense.
And he showed good strength. They had him by the jersey. He was able to pull away, give himself some room, find somebody open, pick up, as you say, a few more yards to make it a little bit easier kick for Janikowski.
Well, Janikowski's actually going to stay off. They're going to put the man that we saw punt the ball earlier, and now it's Steve Baker who will come on.
Right.
Give him a little work.
Redmond pays the price on that one as he goes down in a very, very hard, solid hit.
Going to be yards in the play, 4th down.
Now, the reason you bring another kicker or punter to camp is so your starting kicker, Janikowski, or punter, Leckler, doesn't wear out their legs.
And that is good from 37 yards out. So with 4 minutes and 43 seconds left, it is 20-15 Raiders.
Want more? Get more. Just get going to the Dodge Summer Sales Drive, where you'll have to hurry if you're going to grab the all-new Hemi-powered Dodge Durango and get $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of $5,000. But you've got to get it in gear because these offers end August 31st. Want more? Get going. See your Dodge dealer today because summer's almost gone, and so is the Summer Sales Drive.
So you think you have what it takes to be on CBS 2 Sports Central? Prove it when Del Taco presents the Sportscaster for a Day contest. Send in your best effort on VHS or email us an attachment using Real Player or QuickTime. You knock our socks off, you're in. You'll be on CBS 2 live after the U.S. Open on Sunday, September 5th, anchoring a segment of Sports Central. So get busy. The Sportscaster for a Day contest, brought to you by Del Taco. Try the new Carnitas Tacos Del Carbone, only at Del Taco.
The last of the 04s are here. It's Chevy's model year end event, where you'll find the full line of 2004 Chevy SUVs, the biggest lineup of SUVs on the road, all with amazing model year-end offers, like a total value of $5,000 on a 2004 Tahoe, Suburban, or Trailblazer when you finance through your dealer and GMAC. See your local Chevy dealer.
Raiders by a 5-point margin. We want to tell you that the home portion of the season gets underway right here September 19th against the Buffalo Bills. So you do have time to purchase a luxury suite at the Oakland Coliseum. And whether it's the East or West Side Club, watching a game for one of these treasures is a memorable experience. You've got TVs in the suites for your replays. They've got great food available. Just log on to Raiders.com or call 510-860-5000 for more information. And the Cowboys trail by 5, trying to get good field position. And it looks like with the football was Jocks Reeves, the third-string cornerback, that time getting special team duties.
They have to remember, when you look at this Cowboy offense, they have to play for the touchdown. They don't want to play for the field goal here, because if they kick a field goal, they might not get the ball back. So they have touchdown in mind.
Absolutely.
There was a penalty marker on the play.
One thing that's gotten cleaned up big time tonight by the Raiders is the penalties.
You're absolutely right. After last week, just a complete turnaround, and I'm sure, as you know as well as I do, that was a big point of emphasis during the week in preparation for this game.
That and open field tackling, and I think both have proven to be much improved tonight.
North Turner waiting for Ed Hockley.
Offside by the kicking team number 53. That's a 5-yard penalty, and under the new rule, it's enforced from the end of the run. Dallas keeps the ball after enforcement, first down.
I was just going to say that, one of the new rules this year, so you have the choice of either kicking off or adding on to the end of the run.
Cowboys football when we come back on the Raiders Television Network.
It's a little bit rough.
Our Princess line, organic Pima cotton.
What are these?
Oh, those are our finest towels. Long staple Turkish cotton from Antioch. Like butter.
I'll take 62.
Oh.
Around here, you have to love what you drive. The plush Mercedes-Benz E500 with a 302 horsepower V8.
Cigarette smoking is addictive and causes serious diseases. Smokers are far more likely to develop serious diseases like cancer than non-smokers. There is no safe cigarette. At philipmorrisusa.com, you can find this and other information on the serious health effects of smoking and links to reports from public health authorities, including links to sites that can help smokers quit. For more information, visit philipmorrisusa.com.
If a concert hall can be acoustically tuned, if a 60,000-seat stadium can have a retractable roof, if an 80-ton bullet train can glide on air, why not your SUV? At GMC, our engineers don't just ask questions, they have answers. The GMC Envoys. Get $5,000 total allowance on a 2004 GMC Envoy when you finance through your dealer and GMAC. See the pros at your Southern California GMC truck dealers.
Raiders with the lead here in the fourth. Well, Cowboys head coach Bill Parcells and Raiders owner Al Davis. They've known one another a very long time, and a few years back, Parcells was reflective on this special relationship.
Well, I first met Al when I was just coming out of college. I played in the All-Star game for him, and since I've been in the league, in the NFL, we've just kind of been friends, and I've sought his advice on, particularly in my formative years as a coach, and he's always been very giving and kind to me and a good friend to me. So if you ask me what my relationship with him is, I just kind of simply say he's my friend.
Bill Parcells has Tony Romo, the third-string quarterback, in, and he dumps it underneath. Richard Lee makes the catch near midfield. Who's brought down.
You know, Tony Romo's a second-year guy at Eastern Illinois, and one thing he did that was very outstanding, he was the very first player ever to win the Walter Payton Award, which goes to the best player in Division I AA. So, you know, he's got some credentials, but he didn't have a very good outing last week against Houston, Texas, completing only 3 of 11 passes for very few yards and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I don't think Tuna gave him any Player of the Game awards.
And Lee across midfield to the 48. You know, it's always travel around the National Football League and the respect that Mr. Al Davis has from, you know, legends like Bill Parcells. And no matter what city you're in, you hear it over and over again.
Well, you know, Al's a football guy, and Bill Parcells is a football guy, and I think there's a tremendous amount of mutual respect there. A guy like Bill Parcells, who's arguably one of, if not the best coach in the NFL today, makes a statement like that. To me, that holds a lot of ground, but it's certainly not unusual for people in this football world to make those kind of statements about Al.
Romo looking long and incomplete. Coverage provided back there by Art Smith, and it was intended for Randall Williams.
Art Smith joined the club during training camp out of Northeastern, 6 foot, 195 pounds. Really good coverage here on the play-action pass. Romo going downtown, trying to emulate the Raiders a little bit with the vertical offense. It was a good hand-to-ball reaction by Smith.
Second down. Zuriel Smith, Dedrick Ward to the left, and they give it to the second man, Richard Lee. Richard Lee, not much doing there, and it's going to be third down and long.
You know, and one plus for the Cowboys, even though it's third and long, 3rd and 11 about, they have 2 downs to make this up. They don't have to pick it up all on one play because obviously they're going to continue to try to get another first down. That hopefully will lead them to a touchdown.
Tackle made that time by number 52, Donnie Green, 3rd-year man out of Virginia.
All right, third down. Let's see if the Raiders bring pressure here. Romo. And nice defense right there. Broken up beautifully by James Bethea, the rookie free agent out of Cal. And there is a penalty marker down.
Well, I'll tell you now, if this is on Bethea, I'm going to really question this call.
Grant Irons, boy, did he get a lick in there on Romo. That looked like great coverage. I don't see how that could be a penalty on Bethea. The quarterback. Raiders show blitz. Now they drop. Romo. And picked off. Picked off. Donnie Green. And Green, and the Raiders run it out of bounds.
There's a penalty flag in the secondary down the 25-yard line. Good play by Donnie Green. Good pressure.
Let's hold everything. If this is against the Raiders, there would be a Dallas first down. Boy, what a nice hit.
Pass was thrown, holding defense number 37. That's a 5-yard penalty. Dallas's ball, first down.
Kerry Scott, defensive back from Kentucky State, called for the infraction.
Guys, you see Pepe Zellner there, number 77. He did a nice job. Boy, did he really hit Romo as soon as he threw that football.
And Zellner was just added to the roster this Tuesday. And Norv Turner says, what's going on? Who made that call and who's it on? Some of the young players from the Raiders getting experience in this end of game 2-minute type drill as we take a look at Scott, 5'10", 210 from Kentucky State.
All right, that keeps things going for Dallas with 2:28 left, 20-15. The silver and black with the lead. And it is complete to Dedrick Ward. And Ward is inside the 40-yard line.
I'm going to give you guys a prediction. That type of play, the slant, is going to come back big time, Jim, the football this year, because defensive backs are going to be afraid to touch his wide receiver on those in-breaking patterns.
And Romo keeps it himself with the clock winding down at 2 minutes. And that gets to the 2-minute warning. So we've got another good finish here from the Coliseum. Oakland 20, Dallas 15.
Want more? Get more. Just get going to the Dodge Summer Sales Drive, where you'll have to hurry if you're going to grab the all-new Hemi-powered Dodge Durango and get $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of $5,000. But you've got to get it in gear because these offers end August 31st. More? Get going. See your Dodge dealer today because summer's almost gone, and so is the Summer Sales Drive.
We'll come back and you got 4 down to go.
I'm going to go the other way. I think they're going to throw the ball.
Yep. Romo, play action. And incomplete. Oh, caught on the deflection. That ball was grabbed, but they're going to say out of bounds. Out of bounds. It looked like Polite made the catch, but they're going to say out of bounds.
That's why I was a defensive coach, Jim. And you and Grant call the offensive plays. But you talk about a good fake and a gutsy call here. Romo throws the ball, but Stuart Schweigert has a chance to pick it off, and he just comes up a little short.
All right, here we go, 4th and inches. Now Ed Hockley stopped the clock. Wow, look at this. And Romo's going to throw it, and he's got his man, Landon Trusty, out of Central Arkansas. First down, Cowboys.
Well, I tell you, that
with 1:49.
Raiders in a 4-man defensive line.
DJ Ward, Zuriel Smith, bottom of the screen. Romo, and he is hit. He is hit. Artie, you talk about the Raiders signing 2 new players this week, and Pepe Zellner, the defensive end, got in there to make the sack.
Good pressure from the outside. There he is to the right, coming underneath and making the play. But the guy who made the play happen was the outside rusher.
All right, Rashard Lee off the draw, and he's down to the 21-yard line. Clock moving with 1:10. It's going to bring up a third down. Cowboys stop the clock with 1:09 to call their... I know it's the only one you've made so far. Here we go. 5-point silver and black lead. Third and short. Romo. And he has his first down at Dedrick Ward, and Ward is tackled at the 15-yard line. Again, the Cowboys out of timeouts.
Still plenty of time to score on the 15-yard line. Almost a minute to go.
They're going to even huddle up.
Hurry, but they have to hurry.
Dedrick Ward gets into the huddle late.
Obviously, the Raiders want to keep the ball carrier receiver inbounds.
Wow, how about this? A running play. And that's going to keep the clock moving. Nothing doing there. And this is going to take a lot of time. I think they took way too much time on the previous play there. I mean, they wasted about 10 seconds when they didn't have to. Now down to 27, 26. And they stop it with the spike with 25 seconds left. And now it's 3rd down and 9 upcoming. Underneath, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. The intended receiver, Landon Trusty, had it in his hands and then dropped it. Ike Charlton, who last year was with the Giants, picked up in the offseason. He's on the coverage. And now the ball game right here with 23 seconds left.
Yeah, you guys talk about wanting to win preseason games. The last 4 Super Bowl champions, their combined record in the preseason was 14-2. So good teams show up in the preseason.
Randall Williams to the top of the screen. Dedrick Ward, bottom of the screen. 4th down. 3-man rush. And it's complete to the 1-yard line. Clock moving.
And it's a 1st down.
Yes, it is. 1st and goal at the 1. Romo will get him up and spike the ball. Plenty of time. And he takes it in. He fooled everybody. And he's in for the touchdown. How about that play by Romo? Because if he doesn't make it, the game is over. Now it's Dallas who gets the lead at 21-20.
How about that drive? You know, you talk about a strange drive between penalties and 3rd down and 4th down conversions, and he just gunned that last pass, didn't he, Jim?
A work out of the I formation. And still on his feet, Rashard Lee, and he's hit by 4 or 5 dark jerseys, so they don't get the 2-point conversion. And we'll keep here with the score 21-20.
Jim, let me ask you.
Kick it away. And the Raiders will have one opportunity. And that will do it. No time remaining. And the Dallas Cowboys on the final drive, they just with seconds left were able to punch it in. And they win it 21-20. And we'll be back to wrap it up here from the Preseason on the Oakland Raiders Television Network.